Jonah. I appreciate it, brother. All right, thanks guys for showing up. Happy Aloha Friday. We're gonna kind of just keep talking about the Maui situation here and how we can kind of best benefit and help. And I did want to let people know that as we go forward, it is going to take some time. Like, if we want to keep helping, it's gonna be a long journey, man. So we're gonna keep charging forward, and eventually we'll be just giving updates and kind of marching orders every Friday on this call. But we wanted to open it up for anybody who's able and willing to come along the journey with us to just stay ready to help in case and help where we can. So whether that's monetary or making connections, the right connections, utilizing our resources, whatever it is, right? So we will be continuing this, and if you're interested, then just drop your name in the chat, please, and your contact information, or just send it directly to Layla if you'd like. Layla Morinaga. Layla, can you raise your little virtual hand, please? I mean, I think it's only Layla on the call. The one and only Layla. All right. So we did have some. I just gotta thank Zasha, Harmony, Annabelle, Layla, Keone, Sam. They've all been just in the Slack group and kind of just pushing this along with so much great information, updates. So thank you guys so much. In fact, they're gonna kind of lead us through just a brief agenda today with some updates and stuff. But before that, we have Jonah Wilson, our dear friend who is coming on our calls from day one, right? So, and he's in the fire department, I think federal, yeah, Jonah. So, but he was just there, and so he has, I'm sure he has more latest than us, and kind of maybe Jonah, if you can describe like what's going on down there.
Yeah, so the fire department for federal, we've been sending about 25, 30 guys every 2 days, just rotating out with that. Our main duties have been at Napili Market and Gateway. So we've been offloading massive containers with all kinds of supplies and kind of doing shift work with giving out supplies. Also, there's been a crew that's been doing like roofing work and helping the community with getting rid of some stuff, helping prepare for the next storm, I guess, with some rain. But that's been our main duties out there. As far as goods, I don't really see a lot of people taking a lot of clothes, but more so like water and canned goods. I think that they had a lot of clothes where we were at. But other than that, if anybody had any other questions, or I probably will go back 2 days next week again. So then I'll be gone another 6 days. But if there's somebody out there that needs help, or when I'm out there, or whatever it may be, you can definitely reach out to me for sure.
Perfect. Thanks, Jonah. And like going in there, like are they so right now the only people allowed in is like first responders, like who's because we're hearing all kinds of stuff, and obviously you don't know what to believe really sometimes, but that right now, is it still right now only first responders and like Red Cross and
Yeah, well,
allowed
to
in?
those markets, you can definitely like they're called pods, I guess, right? And the community's been really opening up their own pods of services and things like that. But yes, in the heart of where everything is started, yeah, it's only FEMA, military, first responders are out there, and it's still blocked off. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Maui, but that's kind of like what's been happening.
Gotcha. Is there people living there? Like there's still
Everybody's allowed in now. The roads are open
Oh,
for everyone.
oh, okay.
But thankfully it's been mellow. It's been just the essential workers, and then you have the families, being reunited and everything. It's not the way it was when people were lining up for those passes. And on the first day, it's not like that.
Yeah, so anybody's allowed in, but they're just asking if you don't have any business going out there, then just don't go.
Yeah, and then they limited at 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. to residents and first responders and workers in the area.
Mhm. Okay.
I have a question.
You don't appreciate
I have a question. I've done read a lot and pretty familiar, but how about the fires? Are they like? Is there any fires still going? I know for a long time it was like 85% contained, 85% contained. Is there still firefighting happening? Like what what's it look like with that? Because I've just kind of been unaware, I guess, the last couple of days.
So for me, I didn't personally see any fires, but from the news, it does say it's like, I think there's 3 spots that are, I think, between 80 and 95% contained.
They're like hotspot kind of monitoring and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's only Lahaina, right? Because Kula is still going to, right?
There's
Or
still
was
fires
that-
over there.
Yeah.
The last
I think
update
it's
I
still
saw was
pretty
the
active.
Kihei fire is extinguished, and then the upcountry and Lahaina fires were like 85% contained, I think.
Wow, I didn't know there was one in Kihei. Was it big?
North
or-
Kihei, kind of in the hills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was-
not like in the town.
Mm.
That one was huge. It was 2,000 plus acres,
Yeah, big still. Yeah.
but there
In
is no real homes in there. Yeah. So you know where all the sugarcane was? It was going that way
Oh.
from Kula. So they barricaded it or they put blockades or something. My brother-in-law works at the ranch up there in Ulupalakua. So that was huge. And then, you know, houses burnt down in Kula too. That's not getting much of the news report, and on Molokai too. So there's, I think it's just
Fires on Molokai
things
too.
happening.
There was a smaller one, yeah.
Jeez. And Kula had businesses burned also, or no? Homes and businesses, some, or
I only heard that Kula had 19 homes burned down. I didn't hear anything about businesses. I know
Yeah,
Kula
so
Lodge.
it-
barely affected.
Yeah, Kula Lodge, I think, was one. I don't think it got burnt to the ground, but there was damage done to it.
another one kind of unrelated. Sorry, but how about is stuff still happening in Wahiwa, or not so much?
Yeah,
Did
they
it
had a
get
big
bad?
fire
I
over
kind of
here too in Wahiwa.
I was traveling the last day and a half, kind of, and so
Yeah,
Kinda
I
never-
think I don't know, Jonah. Do you know?
Yeah.
it's
The
not
other
like
day, some of the
massively.
companies went on to Wahiwa. They were kind of letting it burn up the road for that coffee farm. Just let it burn up the road and then kind of down to school. But I believe they are out, as far as I know.
Okay, cool.
But they, oh, interesting. Okay. What started that fire?
Honestly, I don't know. But there is definitely a lot of homeless people that live out in those brush, because we've gone out there and we'll be walking in, dragging in hose, and there's people coming out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you a fireman also? I see your shirt on, so I don't know if you're in that area or.
No, I'm on Big Island. Big
Did you get called to Maui too, Jay?
Our fire chief has been in connection with the Maui fire chief, and he informed us that we're not gonna do immediate response because there's been such a large, I guess a lot of people went from every level, normal people, government, other firefighters, especially the federal guys, that they said that they're gonna focus on the marathon and not the sprint. Instead of everybody rushing, they're and using up all their sick leave and all their vacation and then go home, and now Maui still need help. That's when we're gonna come in and reinforce the
Okay.
efforts of it.
Jay,
I
when
would
you
think
say
Big
that
Island
fire,
We
is
get fires
that
going off all over Big Island.
I know.
God,
So where in Big Island then?
I know it came close to Waikoloa. Did that get hit like housing or not really?
So that
I remember
same day,
people was evacuating a couple days ago.
yeah, that same day the Lahaina fire started, we had 4 spot fires on the Kohala, Waimea, Kauai High coast that started at the same time. So that is probably arson. That burned a few thousand acres over there. Luckily, we were able to keep it away from the Kohala Ranch community, and got that knocked down. Luckily, and then there was fires out in Ka'u that just started a few days ago. Those are pretty good, pretty well contained. They're not going to be approaching any homes or residences. And yeah, they're just
Man, so you must have been busy then. So is it arson on Big Island?
the Kohala ones. Yes, I mean, we're just looking at the situation and how close those fires were and how rapidly they started in all these different areas. It's highly likely that it is arson. And from our experience, yes, there have been a lot of arsonists that have been going around and lighting fires. So we have a lot of work here as well, which is also the other reason that our fire chief said, hey, you know, for now,
Right.
we got our own fires to put out as well.
Yeah. Well, stay safe, Jay, and thank you for coming on, man. And thank you for, you know, agreeing to take the journey with us. It actually would be great to have someone like you on the team. So
Yeah, I'm at
appreciate it.
work now, so if I log off, it's probably because we got a call. So, but thank you for
Gotcha.
having
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
stay safe, man.
Thank you for doing this, guys.
Jay.
Yeah, mahalo, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey Jay,
oh,
thank you for your service. And do you know the Maui? You were talking about the Maui chief. Do you know if that's Colby Hanley?
You know, I'm not exactly sure who the chief is. I don't have direct connection with the chief. Just we get the information disseminated down from our chief, but I can look that information up who the chief is.
No worries, no worries. I'm
The
pretty
head chief,
sure.
head chief.
Yeah. That's what I'm not 100% sure if Kobe is the head chief of all of Maui, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure he is. And the reason I bring it up is because he's also a real estate investor. I don't think I've seen him on Coffee Talk before, but he's attended my Maui local meetups before. And he's a good friend of, you know, me and Zasha. He's kind of been a mentor to us for a long time. Yeah, just so he's a member of our little investor community too. So I haven't even bothered to reach out because I know he's probably so busy. I don't want to.
I think it's
bother
Brad
him, but-
Ventura is the chief.
Okay, so then he's probably one of the
Probably
regional
one of the
chiefs.
assistant chiefs or battalion chiefs or something.
Yeah.
well,
And then also I invited Ashley Correa to the call. And then if you're signed on under my link, then can you update your name as well?
she did.
But Ashley Correa has been helping alongside her mom Dee be a real integral part in the fire efforts here to get supplies out to Napili Park. That's where they've been majority of the time they've been getting, you know, shipments in. And Ashley, I don't know if you want to kind of introduce yourself. I asked her to jump on because they're in it every single day and wanted to get a quick update of supplies that they needed specifically so that we can, if anybody, you know, could donate specific supplies. I know we said monetary is best, but she would kind of have a better idea. So maybe Ashley, if you want to unmute yourself. I know you're driving, so I don't know if it's safe.
Hi, so I got you on my pop socket holder thing here. I'm almost to my destiny. Yeah, so we're really just people helping people. We gave ourselves a name so that we could just kind of tell people, give kind of a reference point of, you know, all of our various Ohana private citizens, private businesses just put together to help since day one. And right now we're shifting a little bit more from, we have our pod in Napili Park right now. That's where we started. And but we've kind of shifted to not having as many supplies in the pod and going more direct on the west side, door to door, house to house, and hotel to hotel. The hotels are housing a lot of the displaced families, so they have needs too. So just finding the need, because the distribution centers, the pods, if you will, are great, but not everybody has the means to get to them, whether their cars burned down or they just no more gas or they're elderly and disabled. So we're really trying to fill in that gap there. We have about 55 containers coming in. It was 60. And then FEMA mistakenly grabbed our first 5. And I don't know if they're giving it back, but we've kind of found a workaround with that with a local nonprofit, so that doesn't happen again. We have all those containers full of supplies coming. We still have a lot of people sending us donations from Amazon directly to our personal home address. There's always a need for water and hygiene things, such as feminine hygiene products, diapers, formula, like baby stuff is always needed. And one thing we're encountering is that there's a lot of babies with special formulas, and everybody buys like the basic formula, but there's a lot of, lactose and digestive sensitive babies. So we put an Amazon list together that I can share with you folks. And a bunch of the folks on our team are also contractors. So we're thinking ahead with like temporary housing, and of course the long run with rebuilding. My stepdad, my other half, and all of their family, they are originally from Lahaina, and still have family. Most of their family are still in Lahaina. So, we have roots there. And if anybody has any connections to some available large warehouse space, that would be great. We secured a land lot to put the 55 containers on via with the Weinberg Foundation. They are free of charge. We just have to get insurance, allowing us to use some of their land to put the containers there. But it would make our lives a whole lot easier to also have a warehouse to properly store those things rather than just leaving them in the containers, especially if we're getting things like baby formula. We want to make sure that those more sensitive items are stored properly. So if you guys know anybody, let us know. I'm a realtor, but I deal mostly with residential. Commercial is not really my world. We've been in touch with a couple of commercial agents that are trying to help us, but the more we put out the kahea to more people, hopefully we'll find something. It doesn't have to be free, but that would be ideal. We've raised some funds to be able to pay rent, but it would be really nice to have people helping people helping people.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ashley. Okay.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, Mr. Elliott, I don't know if you're available to come off mute.
Okay, wait, hold on real quick. I just want to make sure. Ashley, can you drop that Amazon link in the chat or something?
Yeah,
or
I can, yeah.
Actually, Jay has a good question in the chat asking if it's possible to make a registry on Amazon. Like, what would be easier? Because I never thought of that. Just ordering direct to like a family, like I'm sure that
yeah, I mean, so we like how we've been distributing it is when our guys go door to door and hotel to hotel, they have a running list and they ask the people individually and then the points of contact at each hotel for their list. Okay, what else you need, Auntie? And they tell us what they need, and we put it out to, we'll go ask the Maui Food Bank has been helping us. Emmanuel Lutheran Church has been helping us, and various other people just throughout the community will just send them the daily list, and it's amazing. Like, they pull through. And some of the other donations do have a surplus of things, so they'll give too, and vice versa. Sometimes we have an oversupply of diapers, and another donation center encountered a family that needs all sizes of diapers because get 50 people in one house, and we're like, oh yeah, take them, so we're all working together. But anyway, where's the chat? I'm going to drop all my links in the chat. Here it is.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ashley. Hang in there. Yeah, it's wow. I guess if Annabelle, if you can kind of take us through what you had going what you guys have been working on in the agenda. Thank you so much again.
Hi guys, so really quickly, we just wanted to start off with announcements. That way we can cover any gaps of maybe information for now. So coming this Tuesday, there is a council public hearing at 9 a.m. for the recovery and resilience planning. We've already been in touch with Hu'uhajin's and Tasha Kama's office in regards to the more long-term solutions like land use, housing, permits, all that stuff. So that, if we just plug into the council, if you guys are looking for something that's a little bit more long-term. And then next thing is that by next week, the federal and state agencies will have the shelters cleared out. So that would be, they hope to have enough temporary housing for 36 weeks, so 9 months. Everybody that's been displaced, everybody that's in the shelters, they're moving them to either hotels, Airbnbs, and also a lot of property owners with vacancies signed up on the state website for them to pay rent directly to the state, or the state's going to pay rent directly to them to house the people that have been displaced. So that's going to all happen by next week. Because I know that a lot of people have been trying to set up the tiny homes and these emergency temporary homes, but the state and the federal agencies kind of have that handled. So like, what can we do next after that? And then another announcement that came up in the press release, the press conference, is that there is going to be an estimated of $500 to $600 million in early cleanup. And the state does anticipate to provide that work to local workers, or the mayor announced that. So there will be a lot of, a little bit more job security in the construction industry as this comes forward. And, you know, the state, the county, they're going to kind of help in that. And then the next thing is the 2 resources that we need to push out right now are the websites that the county has already put together, because there are so many spreadsheets out there and so many things, but people don't know which website to plug into to get all of this streamlined and isolated. So the first one is going to be through the Hawaii Management Emergency Agency. They have a website. We'll drop that link for the 2023 wildfires. And then the next one is the Maui Nui Strong.info. So Zasha will be putting those out. If we can just be the connection to, you know, what's going on and plugging into these websites, facilitating our county and state and federal like officials, you know, that'll alleviate a lot of like the running around and like multiple platforms and spreadsheets. So yeah, those are the updates that we have for now. You had an update for the roofing and stuff, right?
Oh yeah. I think Jonah had mentioned that before, but me and Tadeva have been in contact with Joyce, and they had I believe it was like 60 or 80 roofs that needed to be fixed. With that new hurricane that was supposed to be coming this upcoming week. They were able to band together, find people to help and repair those roofs, getting donations in and things like that. So if you're part of that, thank you so much. I think the people are really who are out there are trying to stay there. So any way we can assist them, even, you know, Ashley's boots on the ground with the donations like daily. And then any other needs like that, like roofs being fixed before a hurricane, or preparing for, you know, other things that come along while people are still living out there, I think would be beneficial. But Annabelle's been really great about compiling all the latest news, because there is so much news out there that it's hard to decipher what is essentially needed right now, because things are changing, you know, every single day. But we will in the, if you're not in the Slack already, the Hawaii, what is it called? Hawaii Relief Slack channel. If you're not already in there, please join. That's where we're putting all this information as soon as we find out about public meetings or other events happening that could be helpful for Lahaina residents. We're just putting it all in there so it's one central hub. And so like she mentioned before, there is a council public hearing on Tuesday at 9 a.m. I really believe that us providing that local voice and going to these public hearings, going to these press conferences, if they are public, or these events that FEMA or any of the government agencies are putting on, so that we can get, you know, the latest news or instructions directly kind of from the source. That would be the best way that we can make use of our endeavors or whatever.
Thank you guys so much again they did so much work, and they're staying up to date. So thank you so much. I know Sam, you're gonna say something earlier.
I was just gonna say, Will, I think, had put in the chat that he, I don't know, might have some ideas or connections in, you know, commercial real estate when you were mentioning it earlier. So yeah, I don't know if Will had any thoughts on that or not.
Yeah, there's a few warehouses available. I found one that's the old Sack and Save in Wailuku, and I've already reached out to the landlord's representatives, and it's actually a pretty good opportunity because it's a sublease, so you can do something short term and then potentially extend for a longer term. It's a fairly large space, so depending on what the needs are, actually your group or some other.
You're cutting out a little bit, Will, unless it's just for me, but it's a little cutting out your audio.
I'm gonna log back into my phone.
Okay, cool. I'll look out for you. Greg had a question. Oh, wait. Yeah, Greg, you want to go?
Yeah, I didn't want to forget to mention this, and I might have to sign off here in a minute, but I wanted to share, I serve on the board of directors for the Condominium Council of Maui. And one of the things that we're working on right now, I'm sure there's a lot more to come, but was housing for displaced victims. So I just sent into the chat the 2 links, the 2 ways that you can help if you want to get involved with CCM is number 1 is monetary donations. If you want to just donate money, you can do that. The monetary donations don't actually go to CCM because we're not considered a what's it called, 503, whatever, you know, like we're not tax exempt, so it's not tax deductible and everything. So what we did instead is we're sending our donations through MEO, Maui Economic Opportunity, and then that way you can get the tax write-offs and everything. So they're handling all the funds. We're donating $5,000 to get the fund going. And then the other way that we can really use people's help is anybody that has a vacation rental anywhere in Maui, and in fact, possibly even other islands. I don't know. I'm sure there's some families out there would be fine with going to Oahu or whatever. I don't know, but you know, it doesn't hurt. Click the link, put in your vacation rental information, and you will be paid. So this is, you know, like a way to, if you got a vacation rental, I know what the overhead is like. You can list your vacation rental and house victims and families, and know that those victims aren't paying for it. You know, the donations that we're raising are going to pay for these victims to stay in these vacation rentals. So hopefully it's a win-win. So I sent the 2 links in the chat. Again, the 1 link is to list your vacation rental. And it just asks a couple questions. Is it pet friendly? You know, and a couple other things they need to know for which families can apply for it. And then the second link is if you don't have a vacation rental and you just want to like donate a little money to help pay for those vacation rentals for those families to stay in. Yeah, appreciate it.
Sorry to chime in really quick on what Greg is saying. So the 36 weeks for the displaced families, if you go through the state and federal agencies will cover that housing expense for 36 weeks.
36 weeks. That's, I mean,
wow. So,
Yeah.
sorry, just clarify. I didn't hear about that, but I might want to share that with the rest of the CCM board if they don't know this. So the state, basically,
So
the
anybody that
state
has
and
a
county will pay the.
Yeah, anybody that has a unit, I'll drop the link into the chat, but anybody that has a unit, they register it with the state, and then the state will find the displaced family. They'll find you a tenant that signed up for that, and they will cover the expense for 36 weeks.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Thanks. I'm going to share that with CCM. Make sure we're not wasting time doing something that's already taken care of.
Right. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do, is like stop reinventing wheels. Like, I know
Yeah.
the government, like nobody wants to trust the government and whatnot, but if they have the manpower, they have the resources, let's plug into them as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think we still want to promote it because the reason is CCM, the Condominium Council of Maui, is a large organization, and we have almost every AOAO and a condo complex on Maui is a member and attends our seminars. And so this is we're using this as a way, we have all of their direct contact info. So we're sending this to the owners and saying, look, you guys can rent your vacation rentals, help fire victims, and still charge your normal nightly rate. But maybe we can streamline by connecting, somehow, or with the state, or just referring the owners, showing them how to list it with the state also. Send me that link. That would be super helpful.
When I would
Thank you.
also check, I would check with the state, because you mentioned that they'll be paying your normal nightly rates. I would double check with the state if that is the case for them as well. They'll be covering rent for 9 months, but will it be the normal nightly rates? And I don't think that is clear.
Okay,
Right.
good point. Yeah. I know CCM is obviously if somebody was trying to gouge, they would probably call them out. But I know that we are encouraging owners to list, and we will pay them their normal nightly rate.
Do you guys also have a timeline for how long you'll pay?
You know what? I wasn't actually in the board meeting when we determined this, because I've been on the East Coast this whole time, which I feel like guilty that I'm gone. I feel horrible, but and the board meeting was at like 2:30 in the morning for our time, so I wasn't there. But that's a good question. I'll find out.
Well, thank you, Greg. Layla, you had your hand up?
Yes, so just to piggyback off, I kind of a little behind, but I put the Maui Council meeting call-in numbers and links. So if anyone wants to join that meeting so they can hear the testimony and be a part of that, that's in the chat. I think, that's a super important meeting to attend. So I want to make it as easy as possible for everyone.
Do you think you could also put that maybe in the Facebook group as well? So people have easy access to it who maybe didn't join the call.
Mm-hmm. Will do.
I think I just re-quoted or posted it in the chat. Thank you, Layla. Is that Fuzzy? Oh, we actually, Fuzzy, before you, I don't know if you're all set to go.
Yep. Is that better?
Yep, gotcha.
All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was saying I've got initial contact with the old Sack and Save in Wailuku. It's about a 40,000 square foot space, currently available for sublease for about 12 months, which most leases are 3 to 5 years long. So this could actually work really well in the short term, with the possibility to extend it for a longer period of time as we, work through this rebuilding process. And we're also, available to tap into any other spaces available. So depending on what size ranges are needed, I know there's a lot of different groups that have a wide range of space requirements. And so, yeah, feel free to use me as a resource. We can negotiate a lot of stuff from here. And I think there's a lot of, from the landlord community, there's a lot of willingness to help. So this could be a good time to get some reduced rent and some favorable,
awesome,
terms.
and Will's a commercial broker with EXP. So thanks, Will. Appreciate it, bro. And I guess what would be like, how much is the lease?
It's negotiable. So
right.
I haven't run the full numbers yet. Yeah, so it's probably around $2 a square foot. So you're talking like 50 to 80K a month.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big bill.
It is, you know, but the only reason why I know that was because the previous group would a different group was asking for space in excess of 10,000 square feet, and this was the only one available. So it's like,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
That's not
industrial
much, huh?
statewide is just, yeah, industrial inventory is really, really low, even prior to this. And, you know, there was some industrial properties in Lahaina, so that even puts more pressure on the existing inventory.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know, there's vacant big boxes, you know, even like the Queen Kahumanu Mall. I think there's a lot of vacancy there to really tap into. So it's first understanding what the space needs are, and then seeing what's available and getting creative to problem solve. So
That was a key one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think landlords are really going to be super picky right now, especially given, you know, the circumstances. So any type of ways we can collaborate and find ways to cooperate.
Yeah.
Happy to help spearhead that.
Thanks, Will. Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course, my pleasure.
Could there be any of this aid that might go towards commercial support and infrastructure like that, or to subsidize maybe? I don't know. Anybody know?
Good question. I'm not too
Depending
sure.
on what
I
you're
think
trying to do with it. Yeah.
Like who's controlling the decisions to place the money, right?
That's because obviously it's not like an individual FEMA claim for someone whose house burned down. It's different than that. So just curious after hearing how you explain that.
That's a good question.
Yeah, no, awesome. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing. Well, just insightful for sure. Good to know.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
I'm
gonna look a little bit more into that on that one. That's
Ash,
interesting.
can you also inform us who you guys already have contacted for warehouse space, just so that we're not calling all the same people?
Yeah.
Good point.
And Tereva too.
Get plenty warehouses on the Big Island.
Who is that? Fuzzy. Oh, Fuzzy, you got your hand up. What's up, Fuzzy? Can you say that again, please?
Yeah, what's up, gangy? Shoot. Thank you, Corey, and everybody for doing everything you guys can. I put in the chat box Archie Kalepa, who is he retired as the captain for lifeguard in Lahaina community. He would be a really good resource to connect with all the nonprofits or people putting, you know, funds together. He's rebuilding Lahaina as we speak. They're putting together meals for everybody at 5 p.m. every day. So he would be a really good connection to contact him for helping, because he's boots on the ground.
Well, I can drop your
Yeah.
name.
I
tell
think
him.
we've been in contact with him too.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
two,
him and Bougie.
yes, and two, I just got off the phone with Jonathan from the insurance. If anyone, this is kind of off the subject, so whoever's doing projects or looking to sign, you know, or pick up any projects going forward, make sure you can get insurance prior to signing the dotted line. Because you can get into a project right now and then you cannot get insurance, and then that might mess up your you know, hard money or money that you putting up together. So that's kind of what I was wanting to share.
Yeah, thanks for
some feedback from some of our guys just on the lending side is that getting insurance right now on properties in Maui and Big Island is, I don't want to say impossible, but very difficult and very, very expensive. So
Yes.
like that was a great suggestion, Fuzzy, is maybe call your insurance guy before you drop money down to make any offers, and make sure you can get that insurance, because not only is the insurance difficult, but the money on our end is starting to get a little difficult for those areas that they deem I guess
high risk.
potential, you know.
Right. He wasn't saying that they're not going to insure, but like if anybody is working with an insurance agent, he would be the person to call or contact for anybody that, because if he cannot get it, then it'd be tough for any other insurance agent to because he has a really far reach.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially if the insurance agencies are not familiar with this market, right? Some places don't know that why Luku and Lahaina are, you know, so far apart and one is not affected by the other. They just see the word Maui and that's instantly like, no, we
Yeah.
don't do anything there.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on, but there's a lot of also like, I mean, if my information is correct, like Maui was kind of at high risk for brush fire at the time. Just the conditions, and then the storm was just the last piece, you know, to the perfect storm actually. So yeah, I mean, this is quite the I bet on the ground. I mean, I maybe we can ask Ashley, like, is there still any needs like right now that we're not, or because from my understanding, from what I'm getting at, it's more like, okay, it's a lot of help, it's causing some chaos, and it's more like, you know, hey, we kind of got this, and that's what Keone was mentioning. Actually, I got that from Keone yesterday. I don't know if you wanted to share before passing it to Ashley real quick, your conversation you had with somebody there.
I think just the intention and the heart is there. I mean, like, obviously we're here. Look how much people we have here again. It's just sometimes we have to take a breath, you know, and we have to understand what exactly is really needed. So pretty much sometimes it's like the best way to help is not to help until we actually get correct marching orders. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it was. And that's kind of the feedback that I've been getting from all the outer islands. That, I mean, that's just our heart. That's the Aloha spirit. And we're trying to do it. But boots on the ground, Maui leaders are trying to organize, and they are, right? But when you have other guys, outside guys, just trying to jump in and do their own things, like, hold on, guys, hold on. You know what I mean? The intention is there, but relax, take a breath. We let you know what we need when we're ready. And that's kind of what it is, what's going on right now.
Is that kind of the feeling you have, Ashley, out there?
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, we kind of got it right now, and like we'll let you guys know when we're ready for you. Like right now, you know, when our containers come in, we'll need volunteers, but then we got so many people who volunteered on our sign up sheet. So if you're already here on Maui, great. If you're not, then just hold on, because, you know, people, we don't want to occupy places that could potentially be used for a displaced family. And then, you know, the other thing is, like, when it comes to time to rebuild, we're going to need a lot of volunteers, especially skilled volunteers, to help build, between, you know, with the contractors or even grassroots efforts like with Archie Kalepa and Bougie Guys, but also Habitat for Humanity. I sit on the board for that nonprofit here, Habitat for Humanity Maui. We had our board meeting on Wednesday, and although it's further down the road, we gotta wait for, you know, they're still counting the bodies. So we're not even close to them clearing any debris or anything like that. But there is a lot of support waiting to rebuild Lahaina when it is okay and safe to do so.
Yeah. So from my understanding, you kind of agree a little bit with the person who Keone had that conversation with, and more so what you guys need is like the essentials that are perishable, right? Like the feminine products, baby products. That was good to know that. I mean, yeah, we forget sometimes baby formula, it's like you still need the other type, you know, the one that all babies will have drink the same formula. So that's good to keep in mind. Like, this is why I think, yeah, these calls are important. And I was just thinking, like, okay, maybe, you know, we should start, you know, moving this off this call to have it more, you know, focused and dialed, but we can keep it this Friday, you know, these calls every Friday. But we do want to kind of ask if anybody wants to play a bigger role and wants to take this journey alongside us as we continue, because it's going to take more than just once a week, right? And sometimes it's not going to take anything. I have a feeling it's going to be a very long hurry up and wait game, so, but those who want to stay, in the know and help and alongside us, then please, like Jay did earlier, drop your contact in the chat and we will add you to like the Slack, and we'll invite you to reach out. So Layla, I'm sorry, actually, did you have more?
Sorry. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to add one thing. I do not want to downplay what we're doing here with our group, right? We're doing the right thing. As an outside island, we're organizing. We're staying ready so we don't have to get ready. And then we're ready for the kahea. Because honestly, the kahea hasn't been really put out yet, right? We're not battling anybody. We're trying to help out our people. So I just want to put that at the forefront, that this is absolutely vital what we're doing right now. We are organizing, we are staying ready. So, yes, those guys got their shit together. They're ready, like as far as Maui leaders. We're just here for the support. Whenever you're ready, you let us know, but we gotta stay organized. Yeah.
Keone, thank you for that. Like, that's a great point. And who knows, maybe, and like, hopefully we're not needed, like that'll be great, because like that means it's under control, but at the same time, through the organizing our friends here and actually finding out how far our reach is together and what value we bring, it's not going to be for nothing, there's still value and power in that. There's going to be another crisis, maybe we can be a nonprofit, but at least we'll have some sort of infrastructure set up amongst our friends, right? And if we know that we can provide value, then we're ready to go. When this happened, we weren't ready, and most people were not ready. Even the people or the organizations where it's their job to be ready weren't ready, right? So, I think we just need to know where our value is, right? And just play our role the best we can. I think and not get in the way too, right? So thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing.
I have just one more thing, if I can, just popped in my mind as far as needs long-term. My stepdad, who is the one running Napili Park, he's also a general contractor and part of the construction industry of Maui Association. He's also instructed us to solicit gift cards from like hardware and lumber stores and stuff, just thinking long-term. So we've been doing that, trying to get Home Depot and Lowe's and Hansador and even the specialty places. So
or Ash, do you think it would be beneficial to just get like a regular Visa gift card, something like that you could use anywhere?
That's fine too. Yeah, that's fine too. But because we all know logistics to Maui and getting supplies to Maui, like construction supplies, materials is a better word, can be challenging, and we're going to need a lot.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Uncle Daniel Anthony. So if you guys check him out on Mana'ai, he literally organized a 40+ foot container, right, with all construction materials, and they're loading it up literally this morning from 8 to 12. He's in organization with Aina Momona. So I think that's headed you guys' way as well, yeah.
Perfect. That's who we're partnered up with as far as nonprofit is Aina Momona. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Layla, did you want to take us through the final?
So we went through the updates. Thank you to Annabelle for organizing all of that. She's been great. And then we mentioned that we do want to take future planning maybe off of Coffee Talk, like Corey said, so that we can really focus and spend more time on that planning effort. So again, the kahea is out in this group. If you want to be a part of that, please reach out to me so I can add you to that additional call that we'll be having. And if you don't have time now, that's fine. It's the offer is always open. I think this isn't just for one situation. This will be, how can we align ourselves for future help? And then let's see. as a group, I think our focus is to utilize the network, the resources, the knowledge to help in the relief and rebuild for all these communities, and not just Maui. So we might be focusing on, if there's any need in Big Island, Jay, keep us posted. You're going to be in. Thank you for your information. And just to remember that our values are, what our values are. We want to make sure that we are coming from the right place. Humility, selflessness, aloha. We don't want to get, a bad rap, or we already do as investors, for being maybe in it for the wrong reason. So we just have to make sure that we all come from the same frame of mind and mindset that this is all for others. Ethics, yeah, thank you, Tay. Yeah, so we will take this call offline. I know we're coming up on the 1 hour mark, and we want to make sure we can get, Ashley back out there and all of you other people at Maui who are really making a difference. We don't want to keep you too long on this call. Will, you have an update?
I think he gave his, but yeah, Will.
Yeah, so the other day when we had our broker meeting statewide with our leadership, we posed the idea of like, hey, can we compile a list of job openings nationwide? And they just confirmed today that they're working on that, and they're going to give high priority to those affected in Lahaina. So that was a big win. As soon as it comes out, I'll be sure to share it with everyone. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Will. Yeah, we
was
forget
incredible.
about that. There's gonna be a lot of people that have lost jobs too, right? That might be looking. So and then Tay, you asked a question about we have bi-weekly calls. Yeah, we could. The only thing when we say move it off this call is just more like, because eventually a lot of the work's going to be it's going to be a hurry up and wait, I think, for a lot of it, but a lot of the work's going to be organizing, people and us putting our heads together. I feel it's going to be a little bit more intimate kind of meetings. So it's going to naturally play out that way, where there's only going to be really some updates and marching orders, real brief anyways, at which we will do every Friday on our calls. Either way, as we kind of huddle more outside, right? It's just more that it's going to take more time as we organize together. So more than just 1 hour, right? A week. So. Go ahead, Layla.
Oh, I was just going to see if anyone else had any needs. Ashley shared hers. Just want to make sure everyone has a chance to share if there is any additional needs in the community. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much again for another call and showing up. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and please reach out again. Oh, do we have everybody's info in the chat that wanted to get in there?
I believe so, but what I'll do is I'll put my information in the chat, and if anyone wants to reach out, feel free.
Thank you guys. Happy Aloha Friday. Have a great weekend. Aloha, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.